This is the Simpsons Road Rage on the GBA. Now,
back in the day,
there was a console version and a portable version of games, and this game was released 2 years after the original version on the GameCube, PS2, and the original Xbox. This box here was the usual cardboard box we would throw away as kids, and it included the game along with some other relics of the past. Instruction booklets. I mentioned that this game was released 2 years after the console version because I wanted to highlight some of the weirdness around this game. Sega actually sued the game creators of Road Rage because it was similar to Crazy Taxi, and they won. Also, the GBA version is rated E instead of T like the console versions. But enough of that, let's get into the game. The title screen plays the Simpsons intro song in a 32-bit form, and the main screen has all the modes you can play. This first mode is called Road Rage, and it's the meat and potatoes of the game, hence the title of the actual game. Road Rage is basically Crazy Taxi but with the Simpsons. And you have a time limit, and you have to pick up a passenger and drop them off at their destination. Each passenger has their own timer as well, and you earn more money the faster you are. The controls are what you would expect. It's A to drive and B for brake. You can also hold the right shoulder button to use as an E-brake to drift. Also, you can honk the horn by pressing up on the D-pad. And you can also press L to eject the passenger from your vehicle anytime, anywhere. You can be going full speed on the highway and see ya, or in the middle of a stunt over a canyon.
Bye bye!
Anyways, in a Road Rage mode, when you drop a passenger off, you can get extra time depending on how close you are to the middle of the drop-off point, which is the little square on the floor right here. And every third passenger you pick up will have a bonus, and you'll have to hit a certain number of cars or objects or avoid traffic. Imagine if someone offered you a bonus to hit cars. Here's a little bonus for you if you hit 5 cars. Okay, but what about the actual gameplay? How does it feel? It's aight. It's not hard to control the car, but if you haven't ever played the game, it can be confusing to know what you can drive over and what you can't drive over. The graphics aren't great, but I have to give them credit for a GBA game from 2003. Also, I don't know why it bothered me so much, but all the cars are convertible, and the characters just jump in and out, but it does make the game quicker. It can also be hard to turn with the D-pad on some of the faster cars, and you slow down when you hit cars or objects, or if you go off-road. And if you hit a car from behind, you catch a little bit of air. But just don't hit a cop car. Oh crap. I got 3 stars for that? Just kidding, you can hit anything you want. Cop cars, ambulances. The cars will just keep driving after you hit them like nothing happened. You just can't run over people. They somehow magically dodge and roll out of the way no matter how fast you're going. In the beginning of the game, you only have a handful of characters and 1 location is unlocked, but you unlock more things as you obtain more money. But here's one of the main issues with the game. It uses passwords, and not just any regular random letters and numbers password. No, it's more like Lisa Krusty Auto Marge Momomo Snake. Why? I mean, nowadays I could just take a picture on my phone, but when I was a kid I would write all these passwords down, and I probably lost them because, I was 8. And you'll need a lot of passwords because this game is actually quite long. Road Rage mode usually nets you around 20,000, but the most I ever got was about 27,000, and that's about one 10 to 15 minute session. So to completely pass the game, you'll need
$1 million!
No wonder I never passed this game as a kid. Okay, so on to the other modes. Performance mode lets you choose a rider, and they all have different things they like and dislike. I usually go with Bart because he's a psychopath. This mode should have been the main mode of the game because it's chaotic, and instead of you taking the passenger somewhere, you just have to go crazy. You get money by hitting objects or cars, or taking jumps, or taking a power-up, and you can create chains. Every action you perform raises Bart's meter. It's like a happiness meter, and once it reaches the top, you get extra time and a new character. But the new character is random, and you might get stuck with someone who doesn't like anything. This mode is fun, but it could have been way better if they went all out. But the Road Rage mode is still the best way to make money. Onto the missions mode. This was my favorite part of the game just because it's different and creative. There are 10 missions and they're all completely different from the main game. Like this Moe mission here has you driving Homer home because he got drunk and Moe's trying to sneak him back home without Marge finding out. I thought this was rated E. And this other one is Barney basically going crazy and running over mascots. This auto one's pretty funny. It says you have to help him get his driver's license. He's a school bus driver, why does he need his license? Finally, the last mission has you driving as Homer and knocking down statues of Mr. Burns while he tries to ram you. Now the last mode of the game is called Sunday Drive. This one's basically the practice mode. You can choose any vehicle at any location, and there's no time limit. And you can choose to either pick up passengers or just drive solo and check out the level. Sunday Drive is a great way to help you find shortcuts or just to explore. This game also has a lot of extras. You can change the difficulty, you can change the background of the main menu, you can look at the layout of the maps, and even change the color of the vehicles. There's also 16 characters to unlock, including the Simpsons family. There's Chief Wiggum, Professor Frank, Otto, and even Apu. The Grandpa Simpsons car is one of the fastest cars in the beginning until you unlock Apu's sports car. But both of those cars slow down in the off-road locations. Some cars, like the school bus, doesn't slow down when you go off-road or hit a car, but they're just not as fast as the other vehicles. It's up to your preference and strategy of what vehicle to use. There's also quite a few locations in the game. There's about 6 of them, from Evergreen Terrace Street to even a tropical level. There's a downtown map with the freeway, and there's also a countryside map where you can run over chickens and hit cows. Don't tell Pete about this level. The game is pretty fun when you first start to play, but like I mentioned before, you're going to be playing for a while to unlock everything. I think it took about 15 to 20 hours, and maybe about halfway I didn't want to play anymore because you'll find yourself just replaying Rage mode over and over again to get money. You can spice it up by playing a mission mode here and there, or performance, but it is a grind, trust me. Finally, when you get $1 million, you unlock a secret vehicle, Mr. Burns. Even though it's actually Mr. Smithers driving and Mr. Burns is in the back.
Excellent.
And you can also unlock an ending cutscene, which to be fair, isn't a bad little cutscene for a GBA game. But at this point, I just wanted the game to end. The last vehicle is actually the most overpowered one. It's the fastest vehicle, and off-roading does not slow it down one bit. The only issue with this, I don't know, you unlock it at the end of the game. I could use this vehicle to get money. There's not really any point on it now, unless you wanted to keep playing, but that would just be crazy talk. And overall, this game would have been a lot funner if they didn't make that goal so high, or maybe I'm just not that good at the game, and it took me too long to get $1 million, but I did learn one thing from playing this game. The next time I take my car to the body shop so they can transform my car into a convertible, I'm going to tell them, have you ever played The Simpsons Road Rage?